All right, everyone. It's Sunday. It's about 9:40. It is the last Sunday of the month, and I'm going to show you my analysis, what I got for the week. Mainly watching three pairs right now: EU, UJ, and GJ. Not really. I mean, I got a few other things on my watch list here, but I'm not really. I should say these are the three that I've been actively trading. Um, Last week was not that great. Um, my analysis was spot on, but I could not find really good entries, and so um, I didn't really get into any good trades. I had a couple small trades I lost, but I got stopped out. Um, yeah, but anyway, okay. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So first, EU. How is this? Is how I normally go through my. I'll get rid of this. Oh, there it is. That's weird. Okay. This is how I normally go through my analysis. So first, I look at the daily, and I use the daily to help me find support and resistance. So since we had a downturn, since we had bearish week last week, um, I don't need to redo my resistance. It's the same resistance as last week, right? So this was support from last week. Now I just renamed this to previous support, right? Because this was support last week, it broke right through it. Now what I'm going to do is just mark one new line. Put this, we just call this right now it's support, and we're going to put it around. I like to use flat numbers, right? Not like random 9.852 whatever. Right? Because price usually is going to come down to some type of flat number. Okay, so all right, now I can clearly see that right level last week, price was in a little downtrend. However, I'm going to zoom out so I can see the bigger picture here, and clearly it's in a downtrend. So these are days. I don't want to go back that far. So now what I'm going to do, because I see a good use of the fib, I am going to take a Fibonacci from here to here and look and see where price is at this point. And I'm going to do that on the 4 hour. So I set my fib up on that daily. So I should say I mostly intraday slash swing. Like I'm not a scalper. I mean, if I see an opportunity to scalp, I'm going to obviously try to take it. But my strategy on the daily is not scalping. Like I'm more intraday. Like I'll hold trades, you know, 12, 24 hours, 2 days, whatever it takes pretty much. Like I don't mind holding a trade. If it's going my way, obviously. So I put the fib on the daily so I can kind of see, okay, because I'm looking mainly for what's the direction going to be this week? Like what's going to happen this week, you know, so that I can try to capitalize on that move that's going to happen like in the next 3 4 days, not just what's going to happen today or tomorrow. Like I want to see the big movement that's going to happen for the week so I can capture a portion of that big movement. So like let's just take last week. So this is last week, right? This was oh yes, we're looking at days, right? So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 days last week of just down, 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 down. Like I predicted last week that price would come down, but it went down further than I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to come down, bounce off this, but it doesn't matter. It didn't, right? It kept going. So that little, I just got that little piece of the trade, but had if I held, but it didn't make sense to hold for me. So I didn't. It wasn't if I held because I guess really if I would have got back in, that could have happened, but I didn't find any good opportunities for me to get back in that, so I didn't. So let's go back to the 4 hour. So now that I have my daily support, my daily resistance, right? These are the levels that I'm going to be working in. Right, these are the levels that I'm expecting the price to either test or fall in, right? So now that I don't the daily resistance up here, I can probably just get rid of this because I don't really need that, but I'll just leave it for now for reference. There is a 200 moving average on here. Don't really need that right now. I mean, clearly the price is going down. I will throw a moving average. Sometimes I throw a moving average just to kind of confirm, right, prices, but you know, it's pretty obvious here that price is on a downtrend. Now, we don't know if it's going to stay on a downtrend. Don't know what's going to happen, right? So now I'm looking at this. So I'm looking at where it came down, hit support. So I've seen a rejection, right, multiple times of this level, but I don't think it's just going to shoot right back up either, right? So if I was going to predict what's going to happen here, what I would say, what I'm going to look for it to do, and this is right, I'm going to look for it to come down here and then come and test this previous support. I don't know if it's going to come all the way up here, part of the way up here, because then I got to look at the fib, right? So here's a 23, here's a 38. Yeah, so you see that previous support is right in the area of that 38. So there's a good chance. So if I'm thinking of a trade for this week, I'm going to wait and see if price comes down and test this and bounce back up and test previous support, so that support becomes resistance. That's what the trade I'm looking for. I'm looking to catch this up to here, right? Which is like however many pips that is. Just look quickly. Okay, right. Whatever. If I could catch 60, 80 of those pips, I'll be a happy person. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this video quick because this is the first one I ever done. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. So let me just actually no. How many minutes has this been? Probably not that long. It's only been 7 minutes. All right. So let me do one more so you guys can kind of see, what my strategy is. I do the same exact thing every single week, right? So now could um this could not come down and test this, and then just go up and test the previous support. But I I don't know. I haven't seen a double bottom down here really yet. I mean, I guess technically that kind of is a double bottom, but this was kind of like got to the bottom, had a little bit of little retracement. I think it'll test it again and then come up and test this previous support. Or it's gonna come down and test this and then and break through. Um and if it does, then I will be looking for it to come down all the way down to this negative 27 extension, and that would be my take profit. However, I think that after this huge, you know, downtrend for the last couple of weeks, basically, that it'll test this support level, come back up, do a little retrace up to this. I think it'll come up to this previous support, a little retrace, and then come back down. But okay, so that's what I'm looking at for Euro USD. Now UJ, let's see what UJ is doing. Computer's kind of slow with this video thing. Let's see what I need. So UJ, I had called it. So this was my analysis from last week was that UJ is going to come down. I'm going on the daily. I think it's on the daily. Yeah. So these green lines and this fib. Well, the fib is from this week. But I had predicted that it was going to come down. I didn't take this trade. I waited. This was like a week, right? I waited and watched for it to come all the way down because I wanted to catch it on the way back up. That was my strategy. And it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. I couldn't find any entries. I know it sounds kind of weird because actually I did. When it was down here, I had some entries, but then it was playing around price, and I was like, well, I'm not sure if it's gonna. It wasn't going in my direction, so then I got out, and then boom, 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 it went my direction, and I could never find a good entry to get in on that. So I missed out on that, but I called it correctly. So now Daily resistance is still the same. Daily support is still the same. That hasn't changed. It hasn't come down. It didn't come down to this resistance level. Sorry, support level, and it hasn't come back and touched this. So let's go back to the 4 hour. We'll fix this. Um, I can take this out. This was just I was just measuring during the week. All right. So now I have a fib from the support down up to the last high. I forgot what that's called, but the last high, right? And so now it came up, touched this, doing a little retracement. This isn't a trend line, by the way. This is just an arrow I had drawn to show. So now I think it will come down. It's already here at this 23 level. Most likely, I think it will come down to the. Let me get rid of this arrow because I don't need it for this week. I already. So now I think it will probably continue down to this 38. This is what I'm going to watch to see. Actually, I don't know because I don't know. I know what it's going to do. I think it'll come down to this 38 level, test it, and then possibly break down to the 50. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not sure. This is like totally. I can't say. This is I don't know. Because it easily could just continue back up to this right previous high, and then I think eventually it will come all the way back up to the resistance. That's where I had it coming up to. So if it does come down and start to retrace, I might look to see if I can get a good entry. I definitely would take that, and then I'm going to look to go ahead and trade it all the way back up to this resistance. I mean, that's my strategy. As we know, who knows what's going to happen, right? I don't know. I don't know what news is coming out. Haven't looked at the news yet. But just going based off of what I see on the chart, this is what I'm gonna watch and see if it does. Now, of course, if it starts to just shoot back up, I'm just gonna go ahead and get in and take the trade all the way up to this resistance. But if it starts to come down, then I'm going to see if it comes down to this 38, and then see if it comes down to this 50. And then after that, I expect it to consolidate here, and then bounce off the 50 and continue all the way back up to the resistance. So that's my analysis for. Oh, there's one more, but running out of time here. I don't want to make this video too long. So there is GJ too. Let me just look at it really quick and see what comes up on the chart. All right, see that my analysis from last week was it was going to come down, which it did. Come back all the way back up and test this. I'm bearish on GJ. I mean, I think this is just a retracement, and it did come up to. It didn't go all the way back up to the 23. I thought it was going to come and bounce off the 50, come up and do a rejection, come up and retrace, reject at this level, and then continue back down. So I'm gonna wait to see if this continues to, because right now what do I see? I see higher high, higher low. Technically higher high. I guess lower low. Kind of yeah. I mean technically lower low, but it's kind of close. So I'm gonna see what this is gonna do. This looks like this bearish candle here kind of makes me think that it wants to change direction, and you got a tiny little candle hill. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch this one. I don't think at this point I don't think it's gonna come up and test this 23. I think if anything, maybe it might come back and test this level here, and then just continue back down. If once it starts to continue back down, then that's when I'm gonna try to get in. So that's my weekly analysis. This is the week of January 30th, 2022. Probably during the week, I will follow up with more videos on how my trades went. If I took any of these trades, if I didn't take any trades, if I won, if I lost, whatever. All right. Have a good day.